Hello and welcome, gamers and gamerettes. I am Sebastian Sjöberg and this is the ESFI GGvision Intel Extreme Masters Special, which of course took place at CeBIT in Hanover between March 1st and 5th, and where the Intel Extreme Masters held their World Championships, where lovely stuff like this happened.
Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm currently alone because both the other commentators have some problem with their bladder, but look do we have here. Alright, that was not planned. Bladder problem solved, day 9?
Welcome back to the Intel Extreme Masters World Championship. It's all you, Rotterdam.
And just as day 9 fell off his chair there, we saw many great things take place, so much epicness being unfolded and taking place in front of our eyes. And ESFIworld.com was of course there, both in person reporting from the field as well as digitally, giving you the very best coverage, I must partially say, because we do intend to be wherever the magic happens when it comes to esports. And as you can see on our IEM circuit page, we had over 100 different news and reporting items, so if you're at all curious to recap that event, you will find all the information there, including photos, videos, interviews, links, you name it. But let's get into the nitty-gritty of all the amazing things that we got to see at the IEM Hanover. First of all, let's start off with StarCraft 2. There were $145,000 in the total prize purse for IEM 5, the World Championships. And for StarCraft 2, the winner got away with nothing less than 13,000 sweet US dollars. And if you didn't know it already, the Korean player from the pro team StarTale, Ace, won it all, defeating fellow Korean Moon in a very close final series. So let's take a look at the upper tier of the StarCraft 2 Championship at IEM. Interestingly, what took place in the round of 4 was that Moonglade, Australian player who recently transferred to Korea in order to compete in the GSL, where he famously choked in his first Code A match in the booth and got completely ruffle-stomped. He now faced the Swedish Zerg player Morrow, so that will be a Zerg versus Zerg in the round of 4, and indeed he showed us what he's really all about, because Moonglade, old Warcraft 3 champion, is indeed a very fearsome player, and so is Morrow. That game, for being Zerg vs Zerg, was more volatile than ever, and a series well worth watching. Moonglade claimed that victory, and me being Swedish, I of course cheer for Morrow, but indeed I am very happy to see that Moonglade shows us that he really can walk the talk. And in another little interview with ESFI, he told us that he can't wait to get back to Korea and prove them all wrong. So that was very great to see. In the opposite side of the bracket, we saw Squirtle face Moon. Of course, Squirtle had by then already taken out the infamous Greg Idra Fields, the American pro player who's been living in Korea for years and years, and who very recently relinquished his spot in the GSL Code S, that's the better one, in order to go back to the States. Now, it is not entirely clear why Idra chose to do that, but speculations are running wild that it's all about competing in the North American Star League over at NASL.TV. No matter, Idra is of course a very fearsome Zerg player, and is also the best thing we have in the ways of a bad boy in the StarCraft 2 pro scene, in the Western one at least. And he faced against Squirtle, who made himself famous quite recently in between GSL February and currently March in the GSL Team League, where he took down the then ruling champion IEM MVP and many others in a most ferocious series which you should all go and watch. And now he faced Idra in a PVC. It was nothing less than epic. Of course, Squirtle won. Can't say I'm sad about that. I love seeing Idra bite the dust. And then he faced Moon, another Warcraft 3 champion who's been fighting hard to claim glory in StarCraft 2. And now Moon managed to advance to the final where he faced fellow Korean Ace. And again, you should all watch that. All the VODs of the later games are available over at ESL. You'll find a link down in the description. And you can also definitely find these games casted by your favorite YouTube commentator. I would recommend youtube.com/Enaris and XHydraX for some excellent alternative coverage, but indeed the ESL ones are very good as well. Where of course, not only do we get it straight from the source, but we also get the commentary by ESL's own Rotterdam, it's very good, and Sean Day9 Plot, as well as Liquid Dario TLO Wunsch, who's of course a pro gamer more than he is a caster, but coffee and esports, the best thing. He is a very prolific person in the esports community. He's more than just a pro gamer, and he showed us that already. He was supposed to commentate the previous Intel Extreme Masters in Kiev not too long ago. He had to abstain from that due to illness, but now he was here properly next to Sean Day9 Plot, the very ambassador himself. And I personally really enjoyed their commentary. TLO is such a showman and he's so versatile. It was just great. I can't wait to see more of that. And I happen to know a little something that most people don't about what TLO is planning in the future, which should be revealed within a month. And, well, you should get excited about that. Moving on to the other games, namely Quake Live and Counter-Strike. We saw Rafa, the American Quake Live player, once again claim the first spot and showing that he is the ruling champion. And in Counter-Strike, Ukrainian team Navi managed to claim victory over FX as well. Congratulations to all of you super dudes. However, I must say that personally I am very biased towards StarCraft 2, so we'll continue down that line. As mentioned, Startail Ace won the championships, walking home with sweet 13k. But what also is very interesting to see is that the GSL organization has said and promised that the winner of the IEM World Championships would be able to claim Idra's open spot in the GSL, which puts Ace all of a sudden in the up and down matches that will determine who gets to stay and who gets to advance into Code S, the upper tier of the GSL, where the first prize spot is worth $50,000. And that is no mean feat. The fact that Idra, who is in Code S, which is remarkable, left his spot is amazing enough in itself, but that the global esports community is getting so involved, that is truly great. GSL, over at gomtv.net, opened their arms and allowed anyone, because that could have been truly anyone. Of course the Koreans were favored, but say that Morrow had won the IEM, which is definitely not an impossibility, he would have been able to go straight to Korea. And I just love that. It's showing that globalization can be a good thing and that the global community around esports is coming together. These are good times to be a nerd. Other noteworthy things to mention regarding ESFI's coverage of the Intel Extreme Masters are this particular interview, exclusive interview with Day9 himself, where he talks about the event while it was still going on. Day9 is of course the best thing we have. He is an ambassador for this movement, esports, towards the larger mainstream culture, which is getting more and more influenced by what was, until not too long ago, a very hardcore, close-knit circle. And you should really check out that interview. It's very enlightening. And in a similar fashion, though a completely different tone, we have an audio interview with none other than QXC, famous American pro gamer, currently based in Spain, where he is studying, who's only a year ago was pretty much an unknown. Now he's recognized to be at the definite top of the at least non-Korean StarCraft 2 circuit. A pro gamer to be reckoned with, but who made a very terrible result in IEM, hardly getting any victories at all and getting knocked out early. Other than that, I really want to forward you all to the ESFI blog by Philip Hubner, who was at place reporting from the field at ESFI. He made some really good coverage, and if you're at all interested in that, he's the best source for it. Now, I'd also like to just point out to you that in future events, if that is MLG, IEM, wherever it takes place, and soon also Korea, ESFI will be present, often in person, having our reporters there in the field. And you, whether you're already a member of the site or not, can also submit content. We have a very good service and infrastructure up on that at the site. So if you want to submit photos or any other kind of coverage, you can so easily do that. ESFI is a new player at the field. We're only a couple of months old, but we intend to be the best when it comes to reporting about proper esports. And I know you are too, so why don't you check that out and feel free to contribute. Now, we're looking ahead at future Major League Gaming events taking place soon, and we will have the North American Star League kicking off. Now, that will be exciting. It's a new chapter for esports, and we're seeing a, again, global community growing out of the woodworks of the older times, the older titles, where things were very divided and national borders meant a lot, even though they perhaps shouldn't. Nowadays, things are becoming more harmonized in a good way. These are exciting times. This is the year of the Hydralisk, as I like to call it, and I'm rounding off this broadcast with a little bit of IEM Hanover giggles. You'll see what I mean. Thank you so much for watching. I am Sebastian Sjöberg. This has been ESFI GGvision, the IEM special. And do check out the site, esfiworld.com, and feel free to subscribe to this channel. Amazing things will pop up here all the time. GG and out, have a good day, and enjoy the giggles.
You are one of the best players in the world, and you really don't have to be ashamed of anything. Shut up, Hydra. Anyways, yeah. Give me a second.